I got a 2013 ZL1 Camaro, and I got it solely to film for the channel, and for another like race car to have fun with. We're not going to be able to really take it to many races or anything, but it'll be a fun project and just something fun to do. So we're gonna start by making like smaller upgrades, because I did just spend a good amount of money buying this, and so, you know, all I have right now plans for is gonna be like smaller upgrades for the time being, and then we'll go bigger. So like headers are really expensive, and then the like E85 flex fuel kit is gonna be expensive because that's gonna need injectors. But like we can do like the coupler for the superchargers now, because I know that the factory ones aren't as strong as, you know, maybe like an aftermarket one, or the trunnion. We're gonna do like a trunnion upgrade, and then what else were we gonna do? Oh, like the heat exchanger. We want to change the heat exchanger. So all just things small things that we're gonna work on and have fun for the channel, and really just something else to do other than the Nova, because we've been working on the Nova for like 4 years. So if you do have a ZL1 Camaro, and you have some suggestions on what we should do first to the car, like smaller upgrades, comment down below. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, dislike if you want to. But this car is for the channel. I wanted another race car anyway, and my dad was like, hey, these are going down in price a little bit, you know, they're nice. So we really started thinking about it, and this has been in the works for a minute, but I didn't really tell anyone, like, at all. It hasn't been on social media, and it's pretty much exclusively for the Stick Shift Syndicate channel. So I'm still getting used to the H pattern. I honestly wasn't sure on the whole downshifting thing, and my mom and dad were teaching me some on the downshifting stuff. So I've got great teachers to teach me with this car, because I am used to my straight forward, straight back, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm used to that, but this is going to be a really fun learning experience, in my opinion. So I'm really excited to do upgrades and work on a new car, and just hang out with family, as always.
Am I in frame?
No. Yeah, you can go over there.
Yes. How about that?
Yeah, don't step
Welcome
forward.
to the shit show.
Is that what this is?
Pretty much. Okay.
So I recently bought a 2013 ZL1 Camaro. When I bought it, it had 5,499 miles. So I drove it home and it put like 5,600 on it. And then the guy I bought it from, he kept it inside the entire time.
Yeah.
And
He didn't want us to come look at it because we might get it dirty, which is fine. We tried to go look at it. He said no because it might rain out. He didn't want to get it dirty. So you get kind of an idea of what type of condition this car is in. It's in like brand new condition. It's he did some stuff to it. He had it ceramic coated. It's got a cat back. It's got a cold air intake. It's a super nice car. So anyway, what's your reasoning behind this?
So my reason for this is that I really felt like the content that we were doing on the channel with the Nova all the time was getting pretty stale because it's the only thing we've been doing for 2 years.
Yeah.
That's the only car that we've been working on.
Yeah, we don't put any of our other stuff on there because it's not that interesting.
No. So I bought this car solely for the purpose of working on it, making little upgrades here and there, and just having it for the channel for different type of content.
Yeah. So, what are the upgrades?
So,
what are you thinking?
So the trunnion upgrade, and then the supercharger coupler upgrade.
Yeah, those are things that like LS, like some of the first things you would do to. I don't like the bearings in the factory rockers, so I would suggest that the trunnions get upgraded to bushings, and these cars actually have had a lot of issues with the supercharger coupler, where in GM, when GM fixes them, they don't even replace the coupler, they just replace the whole supercharger. That's what they've done in the past. Obviously this car is too old to go in and get some kind of stuff like that, and we don't really want that, so we're just going to put an aftermarket coupler on it to save it. What?
You gotta stop scooting closer to me.
Oh, sorry.
You're gonna be out of the frame. Your head's literally, it's like, yeah, okay, you gotta go down. Like you're walking downstairs.
Yeah.
But also the coolant tank.
Yeah, so, I mean, just through, I don't know what people do to these cars. I'm not sure. I really have never messed with one.
This is the first one we've had.
Yeah, but I do know that with a supercharged application, cooling is a big deal. So, we were thinking probably do a coolant tank, at least for now, maybe just an underhood tank, and then if it starts to get too far out of control, maybe a trunk mounted tank. But for now, I think an underhood tank would be sufficient. I did go on the internet and look and see what some of the people are doing to these things, and I know there's a brick reinforcement that you can do. I know there's aftermarket bricks, but spending $1,000 on an aftermarket brick is not something that she just can't afford that. So, probably the small things.
That's definitely what's coming first.
Yeah, and probably, maybe in the future as this thing progresses for a year, and Autumn gets used to driving the car, then you want to start making actual power upgrades. You got to learn to drive what you got before you can start adding a bunch of horsepower. So at that point, then we would probably swap the pulleys out, probably put an overdrive balancer on it. I know that you can press a hub on these and put different upper pulleys on it, but then you're sacrificing some belt wrap on the pulley and possibility of the belt slipping. So
and then
what else?
When the clutch goes out, this clutch in the car, we'll upgrade and put a different clutch in the car.
Yeah, and the good news about this is, so she obviously had options on what she could buy, and that's, I had nothing to do with any of this. Autumn took care of this whole thing. I helped her with giving her. I helped her give her. I found a couple cars for her to look at, and gave her advice on what she should probably pay for a car like this. We're near an airport, so. But as far as the platform goes, I mean, we had a platform in mind only because it's way cheaper to do it this way. I would much rather I don't buy any used cars or new cars, so I'm always looking at used cars. Nice use for a specific platform, and we came up with the idea that it would be cheaper to modify this car to make more horsepower than it would be, say, an SS Camaro or whatever. So, I mean, we were looking for a factory supercharged car because the clutches are better, the driveline's better, the rear end in this car is way stronger, the axles are way stronger than a typical SS Camaro that you could buy and put a Pro Charger on or something like that. So we figured this was a better starting point rather than, I mean, you're gonna end up spending $5,000 in the rear end minimum to get these things, a regular Camaro, to the strength of this.
Yeah, if you bought a regular Camaro, it would have been, and it was the price difference, it probably would have been more expensive.
Yeah.
And the price difference anyway for the regular Camaro.
Yeah, absolutely.
We also have a regular Camaro.
Yeah.
Mom does.
Yeah.
So
we're not completely blind to this platform because my wife owns one of these cars, not a ZL1, an SS Camaro. So we kind of know where the weak points are. Anyway, back to maybe what this would lead into. We're not cutting the car up. We're not making a dedicated drag car.
No.
This car, Autumn just wanted something to broaden the possibilities for content. Because this car you can
pretty much do anything with it. You can drive it to the track. You don't have to trailer it. You can take it out for lunch or dinner, or you can leave it in the shop, or you can make upgrades, big, small, whatever you want to do. It gives you more options than
just towing a car to the trailer, having a one-trick pony.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the Nova is.
Yeah. So this, I mean, who knows? Maybe Autumn wants to try autocross. Maybe not. Maybe drive it to one of the half-mile events and do that. But maybe in the future this would work into more upgrades.
Yeah, like supercharger porting.
Yeah, you can gain some horsepower by porting the supercharger.
And then the E85.
Yeah, that's something that I'm
Fuel
a
kit.
huge fan of, is the E85 conversions. It's so easy for these cars. I mean, obviously you would have to upgrade the fuel pump because the E85 takes a huge volume of fuel, but it's $300 for an E85 kit for a GM car, and you just go in the computer, enable it, and you get, I mean, for a lightly modified car, it's probably 50 to the wheels for E85. If you're talking about a car that's pulleyed, headers, ported supercharger, and all that stuff, I mean, you could be upwards of 70 or 80 horsepower on E. So it's really a really cheap option. It'd be a flex fuel deal, so you can do either or. I wouldn't want a car that you drove solely on E85, because in a car like this on E85 you wouldn't get very far. You'd be putting fuel in it constantly. So that's kind of what's happening with this particular car. Now I'm also working on a couple of different cars that Autumn is helping me on, that will be part of the channel as well. Parts that we have coming for other stuff. So it's going to be a lot more than what you've seen with just us racing with that Nova. So it's going to be a lot more stuff.
The Nova's not going away.
No, the Nova.
We're still working on that car. We're still racing that car. Autumn just wants to try something different for a minute and see what happens. Well, we've been with the same car for 4 years.
Yeah. So it's time for us to move on and
explore different things.
Yeah, it's time for us to move on, and we're getting kind of bored. So we need to try something different. And for right now, we got a couple of things we're doing. This is just one of them.
But we'll still be taking the Nova out next year.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, I hope everybody enjoys the video.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, or dislike if you want to dislike.
Yeah, if you don't like this,
you can dislike.
Thumbs down. If we suck, thumbs down. So one thing that I definitely want to ask people is, if you're watching this video and you have knowledge of this particular automobile, supercharged Camaros, comment. Let us know what we should be doing. Let us know what you've done, what kind of gains you've seen from doing this. Maybe things that we don't even know about that we need to do immediately to save us from breaking parts or burning something up. That would be awesome. So please help us out in that regard. Autumn, you want to show them under the hood?
Yes. Oh, and inside.
Oh, you want to do inside?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's suede everywhere.
There you go.
So it's got really nice suede on the seats with the leather. The shifter is all suede. I'd like to get a new knob just because it's worn down a little bit. It's got suede all on the dash. And then the side panels are like a really dark gray, blackish, sparkly. And then it's got the red stitching with the ZL1 badge in the seat. My aunt yesterday called this red thread, so we're gonna call it red thread. But yeah, the inside is really nice, and it has a heads-up display and everything. And then now under. Find that thing.
Yeah, and another thing, if anyone knows of any brake pads, the dustless brake pads that are really good, comment on brake pads, because you can drive this car for 10 miles and the wheels are covered with brake dust. That needs to be changed because it's terrible. So if anybody has any info about brake pads, real good dustless pads, let us know about that. Struggling?
Yeah. I think I got it this time. Oh, I did.
Yeah. So, as you can see, the previous owner has a Can-Am coal there, a catch can, and it's got a cat back. But other than that, it is 100% clean as a whistle, brand new, never been messed with. Oil so clean you can't see it on the stick.
Even like the letters on the lid is really nice.
Yeah, it's this car's. I mean, honestly, it's got less than 6,000 miles on it. For all intents and purposes, it's a brand new car. It almost
still has the
smells
new
new.
car smell.
Yeah, it's
Inside.
This thing is crazy clean, and it's a beautiful car, and we're gonna keep it that way. We don't junk our stuff up unless, my daily it's a piece of shit, but it's kind of what I do. So anyway, that's the grand tour. Like I said, brake pads. We need some info on brake pads because these things are horrible. They put so much brake dust on the wheel. It's terrible. I guess it's a Borla catback. Yep. All right. Also running a special in December. If you subscribe to the channel, it's completely free in December. So we appreciate that. Cool. All right, awesome. Everybody have a good day.